All right, we are recording. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Head over into the chat and say hi. So excited to have you here today, where we're going to be talking about how busy Greg has been in this last year and in honestly these last several weeks. I want to welcome you. Hello. Welcome to another edition of the Get Growing Weekly Work Session with GetOiling. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by founder of GetOiling, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hello, everyone. Really glad you're here today.
We are, and we're really glad that Julie has joined us. Hi, Julie.
Hi, everyone.
Julie is a genius that you will find in your inbox when you send messages to us, as well as in our Facebook group. You guys know and love Julie. If you guys were at convention this year, you got to meet both of us. Looking forward to that again this year. So welcome to this new year and to this exciting opportunity to take a look at all of the different ways you can use your GetOiling system to work faster, to work smarter. And if you are maybe a little less tech comfortable, you're going to love the stuff that you see here today because of the features that Greg has built in and created. You've got literally the opportunity to talk to your system and just have it do what you want it to do, which how cool is that? If you could just say, here's what I want, and it understands what you mean most of the time, and then it can just do the thing for you. So we're going to talk about what all that looks like here today. Head over into the chat. Let us know where you're coming in from. If you're new, we are so happy that you're here. We offer this call at noon US Eastern time every week, unless it is a holiday or we are at convention. So I've prepared some slides today because we've got a lot to get into. Actually, Greg's been super busy. So we're going to pop out a video and I am going to show you guys what is up for today. All right, let's get into it. All right, so today we're going to talk about what's new in GetOiling. We're going to talk about, in particular, one of the things you're going to realize today is that if you want to build a funnel, you can do it more quickly now than ever before. And that's because of a couple of key features related to pages and campaigns, two key components of funnels inside of GetOiling. So we'll talk about those here today as well. So let's talk about it. So we're going to talk about what Greg did in 2025, which guys, you're not going to believe this list. It's pages long. We've got talk to your system, everywhere you can speak to write, transcribe, edit, and more. We'll talk about your AI writing controls if you didn't know about those. We're also going to talk about how you can build and edit your website pages faster and easier than ever before. You can build and edit campaigns faster and easier than ever before. And when I mean fast, I mean fast. This is really cool. We've got some really interesting ways you can boost engagement in your emails and in your vaults. We'll talk about taking payment at booking, which is a new and exciting thing here. And of course, as always, we'll get into live help and Q&A. So if you have questions pertaining to these updates or to something else entirely, this is an opportunity to get live help. We offer this every single week, and it's not just to learn, it is for you to get help and hands-on help if you need it. So feel free to ask away in the Q&A. If you'd like to watch us or join us rather on a future call, if you are watching this as a replay, head to getoiling.com/weekly work session, and you can join us on one of these Thursday calls on Zoom, meet your amazing community. If you'd like to set aside time on a call like this one to share the work that you've been creating, to get feedback and help with that, this is a great opportunity as well. We do provide space on these Thursday calls for this purpose. You can sign up for a dedicated spot here, getoiling.com/website review. And we also have, guys, if you don't know about this, getoiling.com/live help. You can also find this in the Success Academy under Get Help from a Real Person. Pam offers multiple calls per week where you could get help. Make sure that you're checking this out. If you want hands-on help in a dedicated space, this is a really great option, and Pam is brilliant. All right, we also have, speaking of brilliant people, we've got an incredible concierge team that can build your dream website, import your stuff from somewhere else, set you up how you want to be set up, and it's all very competitively, fairly priced. So get on with our team if you are interested in getting that kind of help. Getoiling.com/concierge. All right. So let's talk about how absolutely mind-blowingly busy Greg has been for the past year. So I'm going to go through all of these updates in context with where you'll find them in the system. And guys, this is last year. So just in case you missed any of this, you can now talk to edit your web page builder. So if you're in Pages, you can tell it what you want it to do, and it will do it for you, changing designs on pages, etc. You can now connect multiple domains with the domain manager. This means if you have your own .com, but you also have a .net for something else, you can have those both connected to the same GetOiling account where you can display different pages and communicate with different email addresses in your emails. So you can effectively, really, truly run multiple businesses with your GetOiling account. We also have new web hosting for faster page speed, drag and drop capabilities in the page builder. That's awesome for design. You have a picture here, but you really want it over there. You can click it, drag it, and move it. There is page revision history to prevent loss of work. So if something got messed up and you want to return it to a state it was in before, that's also possible. We've got new website themes as well, new web templates, and easy website setup. So there's actually a place called Quick Setup in your website and blog menu and GetOiling. You go in, you tell it who you are, who you serve, and it will create a custom website for you right before your eyes. Really cool. You can install custom fonts by uploading a font file. We have image framing, so you can actually edit your images inside of GetOiling without the use of tools like Canva. You have blog post URLs that are now customizable for those of us who are interested in pursuing SEO strategies for our content. And we also have this really cool feature called Make a Page Like This One, where if you take a page in your account, you can say, I want this to be similar, but for this new purpose. So here is my landing page. I want you to make a thank you page that is similar, right? So you can do things like that really easily now in GetOiling. For email writing and daily workflow, we have a brand new drag and drop email builder as of a couple months ago. This is something everybody really loves and uses, right? Shout out in the chat if you guys like that drag and drop email builder. You can make pretty and effective emails. We also have talk to transcribe buttons throughout your GetOiling system. You can use the AI writer to rewrite or edit content by speaking or typing, and your AI course creator improvements allow you to type or speak into it, right? So if you want to create course content, you can type or speak to have it create new stuff. All right. So for our courses, scheduling, and operations, we've got automatic lesson creation that's based on existing class content. This doesn't do it for video, but if you have writing in a class and you say, I need to create another lesson after this one, here's what it needs to do. It can read what you've done and create something new for you. Our booking links now support letting the person booking who they want to book with, if they want to choose who they want to book with. So this is if you operate as a team in any way, or maybe you run a practice where someone might book with multiple people. This is something that GetOiling now supports. Your outbound calls can now be automatically recorded by checking a box. Did you know you guys can actually place outbound calls using your business phone number from GetOiling? Well, you can record them too. It's pretty cool. We also have dark mode inside of GetOiling, and the app allows for links to be copied and pasted. That's the Attractwell app that you guys may be familiar with. That's one that you can use and your customers can use to access your member area. And we also have setup progress on the dashboard where we didn't before. One more thing, guys, here to recap selling forms and safeguards. People can now buy from the store without setting up an account. Forms can include upload fields, so you can actually upload files. You can ask for files from clients, for instance, when they're getting started with you, upload an agreement. We've got improved Canva integration with recommended pixel sizes across your Canva library. And we've got emails and phone numbers can also now be blocked. So if there is someone who is bothering you and you don't want them to contact your business phone number, text you, email you, or to call you, you can do this as well. And guys, that was all 2025. That was last year. This is all the stuff Greg did last year. So buckle up. A lot of new stuff that we've got here to share with you guys that I'm actually going to be showing you that you can go and play around with and start using today. So first things first. Some of this is a little bit of a recap, but I figured it was just important for you to understand where all of this is, because this is such a cool tool for you to use, right? So now you can talk to your system. So everywhere you can speak to create, edit, or capture information to put into your system. Now, what this means is I can hold down a microphone button, and instead of trying to type or go in and edit manual controls, maybe I'm trying to do something from my phone where the screen's just a little small and it's a little awkward. thick fingers, whatever, right? You can just hit this button, this record my voice button, and it can perform a command for you. It can transcribe what you're saying so that you don't have to type it. It can take a command to rewrite something that you have already written if you want to edit something that already exists, right? So many cool things you can do with this feature alone. Let's talk about everywhere it shows up in your system. First, talk to edit on your web pages. So this is, again, super cool. If you say, for instance, are trying to adjust the design of a page on your site and you say, I need a little more space at the top and bottom of this section, you could just tell it that. Hold down the microphone and tell it, insert more space to the top and bottom of this section, and it will increase the padding. You don't have to go search for the control. It does it for you. Tell it to center the contents vertically, and now they look nice and even, right? Tell it to make it mobile responsive. Tell it to animate features. You can tell it to do all of these things. You don't have to go hunt for controls. Just ask it and it does it for you. You can also talk to edit inside of the block style email builder, right? So that is super cool. Again, just like you can with pages, you can say, insert more space here, rewrite this to sound more like this, right? So that talk to edit feature is there as well. You have talk to transcribe buttons also throughout your system. That's going to have your notes, your emails, and more. You can press and hold to speak a note on a contact record. You can speak to write an email. You can use the AI writer to write or rewrite your content by speaking what you want changed. And that AI course creator that we have, that I mentioned we came out with last year, you can speak to type what it is that you want, and you've got voice button on text chat. So just a really quick recap. If you guys want to see where these things are in the system, first I'll go to pages because that's where we started. If I want to go in here and edit this page, oh, there's our friend Jill. If I wanted to edit this page, I can go over here and select a section. And over here, am I in advanced editor or something? Here, let me just click right here. Here we go. So if I wanted to change something in this section, I could simply hold this down and I want to allow it. And I can tell it to increase the padding on the top of this section. Increase the padding on the top of this section and center the contents in this section. And so I could just tell it to do this. And it's going to do it for me, right? So it's going to make these modifications. Super cool. I'm going to let it do its work. We can come back to that here in just a minute. And let me show you where you can go if you want to make modifications in the email builder, right? So we have our email templates down here. If you don't have a template yet that you're using, this is, and yeah, that's still working there. This is where you want to start. You want to create an email template for you that you'll use for your different purposes. So here's one that I'm using for my weekly broadcast. How about this one? Right. So I've got a template here. It's got the colors that I want, etc. So I want to go over here and maybe in this section, I want to tell it to write something, right? So we have a couple of options here. I can actually click talk to and write with AI here, and I can have it take the text that's already here and edit it for me. I could tell it what I want it to say. I can actually have it transcribe my voice, or I can have it come up with something entirely new. I could write this, but I can hold this down and talk to it as well. Now, importantly, if I want to change the designs here, right? Like if I want to adjust this, make this section 2 columns, for instance, I could do that here as well. So, oops, I didn't hold it down long enough. Turn this section into a 2-column section. So just like we do with our pages, we can make these edits with our emails, which is pretty cool. So you remember how I told it to center my contents here? It did. It didn't add the padding to the top. I might have spoken a little too quickly there, right? So transcribe is just talk to text. That's right, Allison. So if you said, like if you chose transcribe, so let's just say, for instance, I want to edit with AI my written content here. I can actually go here to say talk to and write with AI. I click transcribe, and then I just start talking, holding this down, and it's going to insert the words that you just say. Yes, so transcribe your voice. So I'll give you an example here. All right. When you get started with Young Living, you get more than just life-changing products. You also get access to an incredible community that is here to support your wellness goals. So I let it transcribe. And that's what I'm talking about, right? So you can say, here it is. Beautiful. So I can add that to the editor, and it's right down here at the bottom, right? So you can transcribe. Now, the rest of what we were talking about here, so we've got this throughout. Another place that I wanted to call your attention to, you can see how this just gave me an extra column. So I have 2 columns here now. Let's leave here. And I want to show you as well where you can go in your contact cards. Let me switch to my viewer here. Here we go. So if I wanted to give my background information here, you can hold this down and you can speak your notes here. If I wanted to add a note, I can speak my notes here as well. Again, this is an effective tool for transcribing, which is pretty cool. All right. So yeah, you've got this throughout. One more place that we want to go is our class builder, and that's going to be over here under member area under classes. We're going to go add, and we're going to use this class creator tool. Now we've had this for a bit, but you also can speak what it is that you want to say here. And I'll be getting to this in a moment. This is really exciting. But your class, you could tell it what it's about. You can hold this down and speak it. Again, if you are slower at typing, if you got carpal tunnel, right? Or if you prefer to speak, this is just a fantastic opportunity to save yourself some time. All right. So that is throughout the system. You've got this ability to use that microphone to shorten your time working. All right. Now, this is super exciting. I love this so much. So you can now take a file or an image to do things like create new pages, new page sections, entire campaigns, and classes that live in your vault. So what this means is that you can actually take an external link, right? So let's just say, for instance, you had a website somewhere else and you would like to copy, as close as possible that website's contents over to your GetOiling account. You can give a public link to that page that's wherever else you built your website, Wix, wherever, and you can give that to your GetOiling system, and it can create a page that is more or less a copy of that. Right? That is super, super cool, and a really fun thing to make moving things over a bit easier. You also have the quick website setup feature, also has this ability to import a page from a URL. So let's just do a quick run over here to take a look at what that means. So let me go first to pages, and I want to create a new page. And look right down here, create page from another website, or create page from picture or document. So I can click here and say create page from another website. And I'm going to use getoiling.com. Why not? And I'm not going to add any special instructions just for the sake of time here, but I'm going to confirm that I have the right to use this. I'm going to click create the page. It's going to browse it, and then it's going to create the closest version possible to it on a page in your system. Now, this can take just a little bit of time. Obviously, the AI has got to do its work, but this is such a cool thing that you get to do now. You'll also be able to find this. Let me just switch over here, and we can go take a look at our quick setup feature. You also have here under our quick setup feature where you can put in your photo, logo, font choices, etc. You do have the ability to actually input the design that you know that you want, or to make modifications. Let me just go to my manual, go to the next step. Additional options, right? Isn't it? It's here, right? Let me see.
Might, yeah, it should be. I thought it was under here, but maybe somewhere there should be a question somewhere, unless that's just.
I might have missed it. But yeah, what you should be able to do is you could actually put in the link that you want to use for the page that you have created previously. You obviously have to write some information in here to give some additional context, but let's go and take a look. That one is still working here. It's importing 11 sections. The GetOiling homepage is quite large. So we're going to come back and visit that here in just a bit. And let's come back over here. So we're talking right now about what it looks like to start with a URL and to provide that to your GetOiling account. Another thing that you can do, and for those of you who really like using AI, maybe you've got a subscription to ChatGPT or another dedicated LLM, where you are maybe working strategically on developing your voice and your strategy, and you ask it to come up with a website for you and maybe provide that to you in a PDF format with a layout of designs. Maybe you're in Canva and you use their create a website feature, which is kind of weird, to be honest, because you're not really connecting URLs and stuff on the back end with Canva that you would with a website builder. But you can make things that are really pretty. So make something in Canva, download that image, give it to GetOiling, and let it build out a page with sections for you, because that is now possible as well. Now you can create a page from that screenshot or a PDF, right? Like what I just mentioned. And you can also create page sections from screenshots or PDFs, right? So this creates fully editable sections for you. Now, before I go get into classes, let's actually play around with some examples here. I think I gave it too big of a job with that. Use the GetOiling website, but we'll see how it does. Here, let me come over here to website pages. First, we're going to take a look at Jane's site, and I'll just give you an example here. I am going to, let's just say that I really like a couple of sections on this page, and I want to be able to use these somewhere else, right? So I'm going to take a screenshot of these sections, right? So I now have this screenshot on my device. Oops, here we go, come back. All right, so I've got the screenshots on my device. And what I can now do is, coming back over here into my pages, I can either add a new section or create an entirely new page, right? Utilizing that file that I just created, that screenshot. So I'm going to add a section here, and I'm going to create a section from an image or a document. So I'll select this here, and I know that this is on my desktop. So let me grab that. Perfect. All right. And I know that the page that I was using there, what you'll find in the challenge. All right. So I want to tell it to make this a little bit different. My challenge will be focused on creating healthy home habits for new parents. And I'll use images from the screenshot. That's an option that it's providing for me. So let's go ahead and create a section from that screenshot that we took. And so just again, for reference, it was these sections that I took a screenshot of, right? And that's what I uploaded as an image to this page, which it is quickly creating those sections for me. And it is still taking some time to redo the GetOiling website, which we will get back to eventually. If you have a very large or involved page on your site that you want to import, then obviously you can expect that it takes a little bit of time to bring it over. So this is in the process of working here. You also have the ability, I'll speak on this as well, to just use an outline, right? So if you jot down, for instance, here's what I want my website to say. Maybe you've used AI to develop the language for that. Provide it an outline, tell it what you want it to say in each section. Say this section should be, 2 columns. You could even sketch it out. You could draw it and you could upload it, right? So you've got all of those incredible options there. And that actually extends itself. Here, let me go ahead and while we're generating here our creative work, let's come over here to our class, right? So we can actually build a brand new class using this class creator tool. First, of course, by saying, this is what I want my class to be about. This is who it's for. And here's the tone that I want to use. but you know, I could actually take the outline for the class that I planned, right? Where my first lesson is about how to get started with your new Young Living account. And the second one is the links that you need to save. And I list them out. And I put all of those into an outline and I upload it here. And then once it's here, the class is built, which is absolutely incredible, right? So I really love this feature in particular. If I know what I want to create, I can outline it and just simply feed a document in. And then what it gives me on the other side is a complete class that says what I want the class to say, that's structured how I want the class to be structured. It's really, really cool. All right, and that class creator, yeah, sure, I can show you. That is, if you go to the member area menu, it's under classes right here. And when you go to add a class, that's where you're going to find it, right? It's this class creator tool. And this is just it's a cool way for you to be able to really dictate exactly what you want. Or if you need some help with generating ideas or filling in the blanks, it really is a cool tool for that purpose. So this copying the GetOiling homepage is getting pretty close to done. And I believe that that page section that I asked for, did it refresh my page? That's weird. Maybe I missed that. Huh. Okay, well, anyhow, we can return back to this in just a moment. It's almost done, which is pretty exciting. Let me find I did have it on a page there, and it feels like it redirected me. Huh. Okay. Anyway, so that's where you can find that. So you can upload an image, you can upload an outline, you can upload a sketch, a list, a document, however you would like to provide that. And you can have pages created, you can have classes created, and now you can also have campaigns created. This campaign builder is so crazy exciting to me. I think that building out message by message can feel a little bit tedious, right? But when you use this builder and you start with a file, you can be very clear on what your goals are, what the rules are, how you want things to show up, et cetera. So if you wanted to create a new customer campaign or a new client campaign, if you offer services, you can begin with a document that makes clear everything that you want to make clear, right? So you're not writing a prompt once and forgetting what you did. You've got a copy that is representative of what you're using that you can update, which is a much tighter professional workflow. And you can upload that into the campaign builder. And that is a really exciting feature. So let's go take a quick look here. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this, you guys. I told it to recreate the GetOiling website. You see how it created the GetOiling website, right? This is basically flawless. There is a little, like, it's missing a background image, I think. But guys, look, you see what I'm seeing here, right? So if we go to getoiling.com, yeah, the background colors are really the only things that are different here. Look at that. So cool. So if you've got, inspiration, design inspiration that you want to use, obviously make sure that you are, being ethical in how you're using this. Don't actually take other people's work. Make sure that you are making things your own. But for whether it's an individual section or an entire page, if you wanted to, again, import your website from somewhere else, all of this is doable. Oh, hey, look at that. These are those sections that it duplicated for me. So there's what you'll find in the challenge: foundation for change, cleansing and transformation, wake up and thrive every day. It did a weird thing with images, but I expect AI generally to do a weird thing with images. But it did create two new sections for me that are in keeping with the sections that I took the screenshot of. So you now see how that works. Let's go take a quick look.
One quick note on that too, on that import preview tab. Switch back there quick where it has the import on the one tab over to your right there.
Yep.
Yeah. So when you're done with this, make sure to click the save and finish button at the bottom. You don't have to do it here because this is a demo page. But what that does at this point, this preview, it's showing the images, and the images are actually being pulled directly from the originating website. So once you push save and finish, it will copy all those images into your image library. So otherwise, most of the time the use for this is I'm switching from an old provider, my old website to a new website. And if you don't click save and finish and you shut off your old website, then all your images will be broken. So you have to push the save and finish button
Mm.
to kind of finalize it. Otherwise, it won't work so well. But yeah, just wanted to toss that out there. You don't have to do that here.
Ah.
It'll copy our 500 images on there.
Yeah, we know
But
that's a lot. But check that out. Yeah, that's right. It will add all of them to your own image library, which is really important because you don't want to be pointing to images that are hosted on other people's websites. So yeah, or websites that you no longer have if you are moving from another provider. So yeah, definitely do that. Click save and finish to complete that part of the process. So you guys are starting to see how you could really quickly and easily start from an idea, a drawing, a screenshot, a Canva export of a website design that you like, right? You can start from there, give it to your GetOiling account, build it to about 80%, 85% even, and then go in and make a couple of tweaks and you've got something gorgeous that looks like you paid someone to do it, right? It's really, really cool. Now, let's look over here at campaigns real quick. I am going to talk through a little bit more about like sort of what this all entails here, but I just want to show you where to find this. Next time you create a campaign, click add here, click this campaign creator tool, and notice that while, yes, you can, just like with a class, this actually works very similarly to our class creator. You can tell it what the campaign's about, the number of messages you want to include. You can set the message length, or you could tell it to decide for you, give it a name, tone, etc. You can, again, even get into very detailed specifics by having an outline, which again, I actually really love. If you guys have followed any of my trainings for any amount of time, you know that outlines are where the brain goes first in terms of the processes that I teach. I think that it's smart to keep stuff like that, keep files like that on hand so that you can very easily recall what copy you're using where for what purpose, and that way you can start from that next time you want to edit, etc. So you can just take those source files for the intent and the content that you're using, and you can upload those here, which is just crazy exciting. Such a massive time saver because you put that information in and it will automatically create the campaign for you. So I just to give you an example, I'm running 3 live coaching groups or 3 new live coaching groups on top of Momentum this month. And I needed to create a campaign for each of those 3 things. So these are groups. We're meeting at specific days of the week at specific times. And this is going to be a date-based campaign. So basically what I did was I created a document for each that gave the name of the group coaching program. It gave the dates. It gave what I wanted to say in the first email, so like the confirmation email, what I wanted to say in all of the reminders the day before, what I wanted to say in all of the reminders the day of, the link to the Zoom. So just basically all of that information, put it in one document, pop it in here, and it gave me exactly what I needed, which was so, so cool. Oof, love it. All right. Allison, the next Momentum live call is tomorrow, or our coaching call for January is tomorrow at 1 p.m. We did have an office hours this morning at 10:30 before this call. All right. So coming back over here, this is such a cool feature. Love this one. You guys are going to save so much time using it. Now, another thing that is newer that you might not have seen yet is that you do have a little bit more control over how AI works for you inside of Attractwell. Now, we do have AI settings. This has been in place for a while. We've done a dedicated training on it. But you now can use your choice of 3 different APIs for the majority of your writing requests in GetOiling. So you could choose to use Claude versus Grok or ChatGPT, and some areas will override this. Greg can give some clarity on where those places are, but primarily for the majority of your writing, you can specify what you want to use. Greg, where is that not the case?
It's for the specialized ones like importing from websites and some of the campaign creation and some of those. It does. Actually, I'm not sure about the campaign. I'd have to look that one up. But I know like the website creation and section creation, we're using very specific API models that do a better job. They're not all created the same when it comes to image processing. So, but everything in the AI writer follows that box or that setting
Excellent.
there.
So if you have a preference, I love ChatGPT for the workflows that I've set up when I'm using the paid one, but for just writing generally to sound like a human, I am partial to Claude, right? So Anthropic has, I feel like, a better writing model. So you could choose that if you like that, or if you have better results with what you try to do with any of these others, you can do that as well. Obviously, I'm not being prescriptive there in sharing my preferences, but those just examples. All right, so when you're creating and editing your website pages, let's kind of get into these pages, campaigns, et cetera. It's just so exciting, these updates and how much time they can save us. So we've got that add page from URL with instructions and that import preview, right? So you guys saw that basically brought in the whole GetOiling website, and it gave you options to optimize or adjust different parts of that page before approving and saving the new page, right? So you can enhance those section by section. And then, of course, once that import is complete and you save it, all of the images are added to your library. And as we just mentioned, you can add a new page to your website by using a screenshot, a PDF. Again, if you are a lover of Canva, go in and act like you're designing a website with Canva, export it as a PDF, give it to your GetOiling, and watch it build something absolutely gorgeous for you, right? Without you being a designer. You can add a section to your page in the same way. So if you just want a section, maybe you have a section on another part of your website and you don't want to use the copy in feature, which is, a very literal way that you could bring that code in that section. But if you wanted to maybe mimic something that your upline is using, take a screenshot of it, give it to your system, allow it to create a section on your page that looks like that. And then we do have that make a page like this one. And this is not brand new. It is still newer. So if we go to this page here, I'm actually not going to save and finish that one. Let's actually just go back to this one. Perhaps this one is all screenshots. How about we'll do this one. Okay, so this is a page that I'm actually delivering my lead magnet on. So I want to make a new page like this one. This is going to be a landing page, an opt-in page. And I'm going to say, create a landing page that offers this page. This page is a lead magnet called 3 Ways Being Crunchy and Change Your Life. Okay, so I'll tell it to create a page. So now I'll have a landing page that offers this. I could do the same thing and ask it to create a thank you page. I could then take the information from this page, plug it into a campaign and tell it to write a campaign for me. And then I have a funnel. Pretty, pretty, pretty cool. All right. Let me see. All right, we're going to give that a moment. There's a question here with regard to classes. I have a Perry vault that I created a while ago, never launched because I got so overwhelmed with editing. Can I ask it to make a copy and edit, update, and clean it up? Would it do that for multiple lessons? Greg, I don't think our AI class creator is truly a creator at this point, right? Like it's not one that's going to necessarily go back and edit class content that already exists.
Right. I think that's there for campaign. Well, sort of. You can edit all messages in the campaign, but I was just going to look at that to see if I had we have that, yeah, to be able to edit all the, yeah, no, there's no edit all at once right now. So, but you
Okay.
can go into individual ones and use that AI writer within the lesson instructions box to do the rewriting for you if you want to rewrite the lesson.
Got you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So here, guys, here's that similar page. We're gonna go edit the new page. Oh, look at this. So it's offering it. Here, let's look at the preview. Get the free guide, what you'll learn. Obviously, there it needs a little bit more, and it's got a few too many buttons. That's okay. AI did this for us. I doesn't get us to 100%. It gets us to about 80, 85, and that's fantastic, right? So here we're at a starting point where we've got the page more or less designed. That was a really great question, Allison. So if you wanted to, let's just say, for instance, you created a landing page using, excuse me, our landing pages feature in GetOiling. So I'll view this one here, my 2-minute meditation guide. This is the published page, but let's just say you created this here, but you realized that you wanted to sell this guide instead of giving it away for free with a landing page. You could go to your pages and you could add a page from another website, paste that landing page link in here, and have it make a duplicate of your landing page in an actual page so that you can do more with it, right? Ask more questions, etc., things that the landing page feature doesn't offer. Okay. All right, let's come right back over here. I'm going to give that a moment to do what it's doing. All right, so you guys are seeing how cool this is, right? I love how you can say, I want it to look like this. You could literally tell it, I want it to look like this, and it can get pretty far, but you can give it a literal example of what you want it to look like, and it can make that example come to life for you, which is just so freeing for all of us who, didn't go to school for web or graphic design, who want to get things done without, feeling like we have to go get a degree to get it there. All right, so let's talk about creating and editing our campaigns. Our new campaign creator, it drafts a campaign from a short description, right? That's a newer feature that's really exciting and time-saving. You can also add a new message to an existing campaign and have it auto-write it based on the other messages. You could also, of course, start from scratch with a new message. You can create a campaign from your own outline, so uploading a file like I was just discussing, and you can also edit all the messages on the same screen. That is probably my favorite. So let's go take a look at that. Come back over here and we'll go to campaigns. And let's just go ahead and create a new one. And I don't have a file to give it. This would obviously save a ton of time, but let me just go ahead and tell it what I want. I am hosting a class called 5 Ingredients to Never Run Out of in Your Kitchen. I am hosting this on Thursday, January 15th, 2026 at 7 p.m. US Eastern Time on Zoom. I want to send a reminder the day before and a reminder an hour before. And I want a message on day 0 to confirm that they have signed up for this class. So I am telling it what I want, and it's that's transcribing what I just said. I want 3 messages here, and I'm going to let it decide the rest of the details for me, and I'm going to let it just start creating my campaign messages. Now, once it creates those for me, I don't have to go hunt for what it created. It's all going to show up on the same page, and we can okay what's there before we proceed with finalizing the campaign and its details, which is, again, just such a massive time saver. And if you wanted to update a campaign that you created previously, you can do that as well. You can actually just go open an older campaign, or maybe you open a weekly wellness tips campaign, which will be launching our February campaign next week, by the way. If you want to update or edit all of those messages in one go without having to open one and edit and another and then edit and another and then edit, you don't have to do that because it does this. Look at this. Here's our day 0. confirmed, details. It even writes the text message for me. Day before, details. Day of, details, right? This is so cool. It built it in the basic editor, but I could also go in to the email builder and edit this there if I wanted to. Maybe what I would do here is I'm just going to go in here and just grab everything that's here and hit copy. And then maybe I want to actually use my template that I use for an event confirmation. There it is. And I'm going to just pop all of that information in right here that AI wrote for me. And now this one's ready to go, right? And you can see that that's here. And I can edit the next one and the next one and be done. And if I wanted to add another message here, I can click add message and continue onward, right? So I can go ahead and hit delete on that one because I don't actually need it. I'm going to click create campaign. And you can click edit all messages now, and you can just edit all of them that are here, which is super exciting. I can click add message, and it can also offer to write a message for me. So automatically write a message for me. Write a thank you for attending and offer to book a wellness consult with me. So I'll have it write another message because maybe, oh, wow, I could have added a thank you message that'll go out afterward, right? And I now can do that. And since it has all of the other details, here it is. Thank you so much for coming to the class. If you're thinking, okay, now what do I do first? Oh, look at that. It's great. And it even hyperlinked it because in my AI settings, I've told it where I want to send people for my wellness consults. Now, do you remember here just a little bit ago, we were playing around with bringing in a new page, that landing page? That is here. Pretty cool, right? It actually copied my about section. It copied my my footer, which I don't necessarily need. I could delete that one and this one if I wanted to. And of course, I would need to edit the sections here for the pop-up. But this is, you know, an example of what you can do with taking that that landing page and GetOiling and turning that into just a page in your account. All right. Now, a couple more things I want to make sure you guys are aware of. We've got some cool ways to increase engagement in your business, starting with a countdown timer in the email builder. This is a new feature. This is one that I think is particularly fun to use if you are maybe offering something that's time sensitive, such as a sale, or you're counting down to the release of a new product, or going live for a class or something like that. So that countdown timer in the email builder is new, and you can offer a fixed end date and time, or you can make that timer relative to when the email is sent, right? So you can say we are counting down to you know, to Friday, January 23rd at 7 p.m., right? And it could be relative to that, or you could send this out at 5 o'clock today, and it is going to count down to 24 hours after when it was sent, right? So you have those options here. And just like you can in Pages, you can customize the font, the text color, the background, width alignment, etc. You can also, and I'll be showing you both of these here in just a moment, you can add polls in discussion room posts, which is fun and exciting. And those polls can also auto close on a certain date or time or stay open. So let's go take a look first at this countdown timer in emails. Really great way to engage. So I'm going to go ahead and just create a new template, and maybe it's going to be this one. When I offer my lead magnet, maybe I'm going to make a maybe I'm going to make a discovery call with me, something that that they don't get to just have access to forever. I'm going to put a countdown timer on it. Right. So I could just drag that over. You saw how I did that? Just says countdown. I drag it over here and it appears. So this is a 24-hour countdown. We can actually click this and we can choose a fixed date. So if this ends on the 23rd at 7 p.m., then it's going to count down this way. If it's relative to maybe 12 hours after that email is sent, you can see that that automatically adjusts. And we can work on the text color here if I prefer it maybe to be this color. Do I want a transparent background or not? Here I'm going to use this color. Maybe I'm going to use this slightly this color, and then the background will be here, right? So I can say this offer ends in this amount of time, right? Which is pretty cool. And you can make further modifications to this section as well. So if you want to insert a countdown timer, you can now do that from right here. Now, I also want to show you guys what a poll looks like, right? So here is Momentum. For those of you who are a part of Momentum, this is familiar, but I'm going to show you a poll. This one I actually put up. I needed to change a time that we were meeting, and I was able to build this poll and give it. I want to say I gave 72 hours or something like that for responses, and so here, let me actually just show you what that looks like if I wanted to create a new one. Let me go back into the Jane account to do that though, because I don't want to harass everybody in Momentum. All right, so let's go to our member area, and I'm going to go log into the Jane member area. And here I'm going to go into my discussion, and I'm going to write a post. And here is our poll option. So here's our option 1, option 2, option 3. I'll allow multiple selections. I'll allow them to add their own options, and I'm going to have this poll end on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I would say whatever I want to say. I can add a photo, etc. But here I will say, provide your feedback for our next call, right? So I'll say post. You do have to actually put your options in there. There we go. So that is now here. And everyone who is here, you can actually see the results as they're live. You can view all the votes, see who chose what. Folks can add their own options. You can participate and check these off, right? And this becomes a live way to interact with your people in your member area, which is pretty cool. Let me know if you guys have tried that yet. All right, final thing, and this is really cool for those of you who sell your time. If you sell consults, whether they be wellness or otherwise, or you sell sessions of any kind, if you are an AFT practitioner, for instance, you can take payments at booking now. You don't have to connect your bookings to pages in order to take booking. And so what you can now do is add your payments directly on your calendar bookings. It has coupon support, including $0 coupons if you choose. You can offer one-time payments. You could also offer recurring payments or payment plans at booking. And your payment plan options include Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, ClearPay, and you can use Google Pay for this feature as well. And if this is a call booking package with a recurring payment, then each payment is going to refresh the package. So you don't have to participate in that maintenance. So let's go take a look at that. Can you guys believe these updates that I just shared with you are like from the last 2 weeks? You guys have, like, when do you sleep?
Occasionally.
Occasionally. All right, let's get into, I think my account has Stripe connected, so we can explore maybe a booking type with payments. All right, so I'm going to add a booking type here, and I'm going to call this client call. I'm going to set that up this way. Payment settings, require payment for this booking. There's my Stripe account. This will be a recurring payment of, we'll say $97 per month. Cool. You could also do weekly, quarterly, yearly. You can adjust the billing amount. So maybe if it's, $0 for the first go round, but after that it's 97, right? You could do that here. You can add coupon codes for this that represent percentages or fixed amount off. You can make those coupon codes expire here as well. You can have a usage limit of them too. So this is an additional feature that you can plug in to your bookings so that you can charge directly from them. So let me just go through here. I've got that set up as a recurring payment of $97. And this is going to be my code YL team is a fixed percentage of 100% off. Greg, would it work that way?
For the coupon, yes, you could do 100% off coupons.
Okay, perfect. So I'm
And
going
then
to
it
save.
deletes the payment form when you input that, then it just sort of disappears. They don't have to
Oh,
pay.
got you. Okay, okay. So if I go view, you can now see that here's my client call. I can schedule at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. There is a payment here, $97 a month. If this is something that I sell to everyone else, but I provide it for free to my team, I put in that coupon code YL team, and that is scheduled, right? It's pretty cool. They can put their information in and schedule with you. So now, again, you have a much, much, much quicker path to getting paid if you offer your time on calls or on sessions. These can be, I mean, you could use this for yoga classes. You could use these for AFT if you provide services that are performed on the call itself, wellness scans. These are all options here. So this is going to work as well for your call packages, right? So if we click add a call package, you're now going to find payment options here too. Pretty exciting, isn't it? It's so cool. All right, let's see what kind of questions we have just to make sure that we are clear. I know, I think Greg and Julie, you might have been managing in the Q&A here. I don't have full context for these.
Yeah, there
For
was one
Jolene.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
there was one question, yes, was about photos. I don't know that you covered that, but like in the page, when you're actually in the page builder and you ask for photos, it will detect that and provide you some options from Pixabay, free photos essentially.
Mhm.
So, if you're like at a section with a photo of a beach, a beach background or beach scene or something like that, we'll pop that up. I think you've demoed that on previous times, but
I think so too. But let's take a quick look at that. And you guys can see what that looks like. Yeah, so we'll maybe here change the background image of this section to one of a beach at sunset. Let's see what it comes up with. Yeah, it will present different options for you that are free to use. There we go. So I can add that one.
and if you click the image, it gives you a list of, I think, 10 other ones to choose from if you don't like the one it comes up with.
Oh, neat. All right. Let's do that again. Change the background image of this section to one of a forest. Well, that's not going to be the one. So I can click it and there we go. I've actually got something a little more forest like, a few more options here. So I'm going to click that one and select add, and then you can pop that in. There we go. And I could tell it to adjust it so that the image is more centered in the section, but I could also come right back over here and I can just change that up and down until it looks like what I want it to, right? Just like that. It's pretty cool. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, that class that you have, Jolene, what I might do is maybe open the class editor and copy all of the contents that you had previously put into it. Maybe put that into a document and start playing around with that to make the higher level modifications that you want to. And then you can even redo the class. from scratch if you aren't happy with where it's at, and you have a structure in mind. Obviously, if you want to preserve something, you can copy and take it out of there, which is really such a great value of being able to see all of the lessons or all of the messages in a campaign on one screen. You can actually go in and find exactly where you said what, exactly where you shared what, and what you might want to adjust and change just with a bird's eye view, which is really valuable there. Can you ask it something more complicated? Like, I have a picture that has 4 pictures in it, and I'd like to change all 4 to be more wintry. I don't know that our AI is so like photo editing in that way. I don't know, Greg, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's going to come up, basically it does a keyword search at Pixabay and gives you some suggestions. So if you ask it to search for wintry photos, maybe it'll come up with something. So you can give
Mm-hmm.
it a try. It might be
Yeah,
easier if you're looking for something specific just to go to one of those sites and search it yourself. Um, but yeah, you can try it out.
yeah. I would probably break that down into something smaller, because I actually don't think that even in Canva, if you went in with a command like that, that you would get something super usable on the other side. I would probably break that down into a couple of steps. Um, okay. Is there a place that lists all the features you shared so we know what options we have available? So I actually do have these listed for today's blog post. So when this recording is processed and up, you'll be able to get a summary of these features on the blog post that we released this week. All right. Anybody else have questions or something that you would like to see? Is there something that you're particularly excited to do with this stuff? I think that the idea that you can go into Canva, where I think a lot of us have a little bit of experience, and build out something there, save that as an image and say, now make my website look like this. And then once you have a website page and GetOiling, using the page like this feature to now build an about me page that's based off of that page that you just finished, right? Oh, there's so much we can do. And it's so fun and exciting. Looking forward to maybe some spruce up my website sessions together with you guys to get creative and build out some pretty things. Hey, Sean, did you want to unmute? Did you have a question? Let me know in the chat if you'd like to come out and ask. Um, yes. Hello.
How are you? This is an
Fantastic.
exciting feature. I do have an appointment with Jennifer, I believe, next week. But my question is, I have a 3-day class that I do, and I wanted to know if I can upload that into, would it be a vault or would it just be, yeah, the class is the vault, correct?
Yes, if you want to host it
The
inside of a
vaults are your
vault,
classes?
well,
Right.
do you
Yeah. So can I
you want it
just
to be inside of a member area?
correct?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if
So you
I
would use the
could,
class
can I
creator.
just the class creator and
Mhm.
just drop the PDF in there, the PowerPoint, because I have a 3-day PowerPoint thing with it.
I think I would save the PowerPoint as a PDF, and then you would upload that PDF to
Save,
the class
okay.
builder. Hmm.
Okay, and then the class builder will do its magic.
Hmm. Yeah, and you'll see it.
Okay.
You'll see how it breaks it apart, and you'll be able to just like I mentioned before, you'll be able to like actually, you know what? I'll do this as an example. Let me save today's. Let me export today's slides that we just used to PDF, and you'll see exactly how this works. Yeah, so let me save.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. This is it's just so cool and such a huge time saver. It's where all you really have to do is make the final finishing touches, right? You don't have to deal with the major structural stuff. So yeah, we would come over here to our classes. We would add a class with the class creator tool. And what was the name? WWS feature updates PDF. There it is. Upload. I'll give it some examples here as well. Let's see. This is learning the GetOiling system in 2026, Young Living brand partners. And this will be an upbeat, encouraging tone. All right, we'll create the class. So we'll give it a chance to read through all the contents. And as you saw, I had a lot of slides today. So it will organize all of those and then put them into your lessons.
We can also embed a video.
I'm sorry?
We can embed a video.
Yes, so you'll be able to, so what this is going to do is it's going to build the lesson structure for you. So it will have lesson name, potentially module names, and it'll have some basic information that it brought from those slides into the lesson itself. You would then go and attach the video that you want, the downloads, the discussion prompts, and things like that that you would want to include.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll give this a moment and let it do what it is doing. But yeah, just as an example, you know, and thank you for asking for that, Sean. If you have a class that you teach and you'd like to turn that into something like this, here we go. Check this out. Oof. Okay, so we've got a bunch of lessons here that it created. Look at that. Oh, wow. All right, so I can go here to next step. And now it's got lesson names. It's only one module throughout, which is fine. I don't need it organized differently. But here it gives us the lesson description. We could also choose to go in and put in conversation starters for these. Or I could say, if I'm pretty happy with what this looks like, I can go ahead and just create the class. And then what you see is you've got a starting point here. There's the title of our class. Here is, these are all titled lessons that are created. We can go and open them up and they've got a little bit of information to start. And then you would be able to go here and grab the video that you wanted to include for that lesson, if that's uploaded to the videos of your file manager here inside, your content manager rather, inside of GetOiling. All right, let me see. Is there anything else before we get going? What payment options do we have through the calendar booking? So Stripe is what's built in automatically to the system, but you do have other payment options there as well. Quite a few, actually. Here, let me come back over here real quick before we get going, because I know I didn't show you where to find those other options. We can go take a look at that together. All right. So if I wanted to turn one of my booking types into a paid call, I could come down here and require payment. And this is the Stripe account. But Greg, how would we go about connecting those other payment options here?
Oh, sorry, what other payment options?
Oh, like Afterpay and all of those other things.
Oh, they should. Well, so the configuration isn't in here. When you pick one-time payment, that will actually show all of the available options for that are available through your Stripe account. So you have to like turn those on because some of those providers require like, you know, Klarna, whatever, Afterpay. I think you have to like go through a little business setup with them, and then once they do that, then it shows up automatically. If you pick recurring payment, that's only going to show a card because you can't do recurring payments with those other methods. But if you do a one-time payment, then Klarna, Afterpay, ClearPay, and Affirm, I think, are the options that show up, as along with. I'm not sure. I don't think Google Pay works on recurring payments either, but Google Pay would work on the one-time payment. So
Yeah,
those would show up if you have them configured. If not, you can go to, I think it's dashboard.stripe.com and log in, and then there is a way to connect the payment or turn on the different payment methods. Because right now that's just showing a card, but there will be some tabs across the top that show the different options available when you have those configured in your account.
Got you. So that actually is a Stripe configuration that comes through on our end. So it's not something you control through GetOiling, but you control through your Stripe account, which you connect to GetOiling. Perfect. All right. Excellent. Guys, that was a lot. Greg, How do you do it?
One button at a time.
Yep. Well, guys, I think that it's important to just end on this note. 99% of the stuff that you see here in GetOiling is here because someone like you said, can it do that? Right. So we want to thank you for being the reason that this platform is able to expand in its operating capacity in the way that it does, because we truly are here to serve your business, right? We are here for you. And we appreciate the time that you've given us here and look forward to working with you again next week and the next and beyond. Next week, we are releasing February's weekly wellness tips. So if that's something you're interested in, you want that done for you content, be sure to join us next week on the live call. And in the meantime, we will be in the Facebook group. Everybody head over there and give Greg a virtual high five and thank you for all of these incredible updates. And we so appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time. Take care.